Hey guys, Greg here. This is the Vinyl Rundown, and today we're doing a video inspired by our buddy Eric Weinbender. On his channel, he's done a challenge and a contest all about Cancer Awareness Month, specifically called Show Us Your Pink, which is the official color of breast cancer awareness. People wearing all kinds of pink stuff and showing all kinds of pink records. I'm going to show you 10 or 12 records today. They're not all going to be pink, and we're going to talk a little bit more about cancer than about pink. I'm sorry. Get ready. Get ready for something that might involve some tissue. Here's a brand new record we just got this week by Wilco. You guys know my wife is the world's biggest Wilco fan. It's called Ode to Joy. I haven't really heard it yet, but it's a limited edition pink vinyl pressing. Let me go back to Eric Weinbender. Great channel, very cool guy. He just hangs out and has fun. Always drinking a nice cocktail, listening to some cool records. And his channel's gotten that much better recently because of the addition of the wonderful Veronica. We like seeing more of Veronica. And Eric is trying to raise money for cancer. So this is not one of these contests where we're trying to win some money. We're trying to give money, trying to raise money. He's already raised, I think, over $500. And he's offered to shave a body part for when he hit 500, so good for you, Eric, I guess. But we appreciate the gesture. But I'm going to talk about a bunch of records and a little bit of cancer awareness beyond breast cancer. My family happens to have been devastated by pancreatic cancer, which is extremely deadly and very unsurvivable. Breast cancer is very survivable. The average overall cancer survival rate is about 70%. After 5 years, 70% of people diagnosed with cancer are still alive. Breast cancer is even better than that. It's like 85% survival. Pancreatic cancer is 8% survived after 5 years and 2% after 10 years. Extremely high mortality, deadly cancer. In fact, you probably don't know anybody who survived it because nobody survived it. Pancreatic cancer, most famous case of all time, this guy. Steve Jobs died in 2011 of pancreatic cancer. He had a rare form that was slightly more survivable, but probably the most influential person of the last 50 years. Devastating loss, I think, my opinion. Alright, I'm going to show you some albums. Sorry, I got an itchy nose today. What's going on? Allergies? Sorry about that. Alright, here's an album. Does it have a little bit of pink in it? There's a little bit of pink. Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrill. The ladies wearing pink sweaters. The reason I'm showing this record really has nothing to do with pink. It's because of Walter Becker. This guy right here, one of the founding members of Steely Dan. Died in 2017 at the age of 67 of something horrible called esophageal cancer. Can you imagine losing your esophagus and not being able to talk or eat or swallow? That's pretty horrible, my opinion. I'm going to show you some more records, guys. You guys probably don't know this guy, Michael Brecker, one of the most famous saxophone players. Played on a bunch of Steely Dan records. Played on zillions of records as a session player. Great saxophone player. Also had a great career in jazz. I saw him open for Miles Davis. An amazing player. He had a rare cancer called, I'm reading this off my cue cards here, myelodysplastic syndrome, MDS, which is a rare blood cancer, and he died in 2007 at age 57. Kind of devastating. A piano player that he played with frequently, you guys have not heard of, but I'm going to show him anyway because I like him. Don Grolnick. Also played with Steely Dan on at least 3 other records, played on dozens and dozens of albums as a studio player. Played with Michael Brecker in a band called Steps Ahead. He had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and died at the age of 48, unfortunately. And non-Hodgkin's lymphoma kills about 230,000 people a year. It's pretty common. It's a blood cancer. exposure to like chemicals and toxic stuff may have may be a causal factor in non-Hodgkin lymphoma. There's all kinds of lymphoma, cancer to lymph nodes and or blood. By the way, I work in life insurance. We talk about and learn about cancer all the time, mortality rates, different stages and pathologies of cancer, so I know a little bit more than some of you. Studio musicians. You guys heard of Tommy Tedesco, the most recorded guitar player of all time, played on thousands of records, often as an uncredited studio guitarist, but he played on so many hit guitar licks of the 60s and 70s, the MASH theme, and the Beach Boys, and the Batman theme, and millions of them. He's kind of the ringleader of the so-called Wrecking Crew, the group of studio musicians in LA that just, you know, were awesome because they could wreck it. And documentary by his son actually came out a couple years ago. Denny Tedesco is his son, and the Wrecking Crew documentary. Hope you guys get a chance to see that. What is it with studio musicians and cancer? I don't know. Who's next on the big list here? Let's see. Another lung cancer. Nat King Cole, one of the hugest recording artists of his day, died at age 46 of lung cancer. Frequently, he was asked about what gives you your voice that wonderful quality that's the Nat King Cole sound, and he said, "Smoking those cigarettes. Love to smoke the cigarettes." Well, he only lived to age 46. Lung cancer kills 1.7 million people a year. That's in America. I'm giving you American statistics because we don't have statistics for the rest of the world. Here's some Pink. Frank Zappa. This came out for Record Store Day this year. Originally released on a cassette. It's called, what's it called? The Guitar World, according to Frank Zappa. Some obscure guitar tracks, but Frank Zappa, prostate cancer. And he died in 1993, almost about to turn age 53. 360,000 people a year die of prostate cancer, men I should say. Prostate cancer is very survivable. Most men who get prostate cancer will not die of it. They will last a long time. But Frank got it at a young age. Gentlemen, you got to get that prostate checked by a doctor who will check it for you, and also a doctor will use a ultrasound. So got to get it done, gentlemen. This is awesome clear vinyl, by the way. You can see right through the clear. And Zappa was not too happy near the end of his life because he complained to his doctors for years about pain down there, and they couldn't figure out it was prostate cancer. So his prostate cancer should have been detected earlier. Tragic loss. And the tragic losses are going to continue with this guy. No, he didn't die of drugs. He died of a very rare skin cancer that actually affects black skin. Most skin cancer is associated with light skin. Age 36, the greatest reggae musician of all time, Bob Marley, died of skin cancer. You guys want to see some fun skin cancer? I'm undergoing treatment for basal cell skin cancer. Very minor, 100% survivable. That's not cancer. That's the medicine. That's gross and toxic. Skin cancer is like the size of a pinhead. I could never see it, but my doctor gave me this gross cream. Luckily, you can't see it because of my glasses, but I thought I'd throw that in for shock value. You guys brought your Kleenex, right? Because this is going to get harder and harder. One of the greatest, most famous guitar player, singer, songwriters of all time. Survived being stabbed a few dozen times. But George Harrison, unfortunately, developed throat cancer and died at age 58 in 2001. This is an album, The Early Takes, Volume 1, the audio companion to the award-winning documentary, which I think is a Scorsese film, 3-hour-long documentary on George Harrison. Tragic loss. The second Beatle that we lost, George Harrison. This is a really nice sounding album because it's not really overproduced. It's very intimate, up close and personal. Alright guys, are you ready for some more heavy stuff? How do I begin this one? Let's see. I walked into Amoeba Records and saw this record on the day it came out. January 8th, 2016. That was the birthday, the 69th birthday of David Bowie. 2 days later, he died. Tragic. Liver cancer. No one knew he had liver cancer. He knew. Few people close to him knew. But this album was very much his final goodbye to his fans, because he knew he was dying of liver cancer. And if you've seen the music video to Lazarus, that is some scary, heavy, dark stuff. This album is one of the most interesting packagings in the last several decades. The cutout, the die cutout, and very interesting stuff on the inside. The Starfield and David, and this album is full of Easter eggs. There's people online finding all kinds of hidden meaning and hidden clues in this. I don't know if you can see the bottom. That spells out a word there. Maybe you can decipher it. Maybe you have already. There's a beautiful booklet inside here. Just to get a little weirder. Black star is a type of cancer lesion. If you're in oncology or medicine, you know that black star is something seen in tests for cancer. That's kind of weird. Alright guys, we're down to the final record, and I think the most tragic story in here. These are all tragic stories. These are all horrible, sad losses for us, but just my opinion. The most tragic loss in cancer, in music history of cancer, just like David Bowie, liver cancer. Imagine getting up and playing a concert and holding onto your liver because it was so painful, and trying to play your instrument and grabbing your liver, and most people not knowing you're suffering from liver cancer. John Coltrane, age 40, 2 years after this record was released. It's his masterpiece, most likely, A Love Supreme, which was 65. He died in 1967, age 40. What else can I say? One of the most important classic albums in jazz. John Coltrane was very near his artistic peak, so that's why I consider this the most tragic loss to cancer in music history. Many of these other artists were either not as famous, or their artistic peak had come decades earlier, and they may have been closer to a normal life expectancy. But age 40, John Coltrane. I got this for $1.50, 1985. A gatefold Impulse. Lucky shopper. A few closing remarks, guys. Take care of yourselves. Use your sunblock. Quit smoking. Eat healthy. Get the breast exams. Get the prostate exams. Do what your doctor tells you to do. Cancer is tragic. Some of it is slightly preventable. Some is not preventable. Some we just don't know why it occurs. It hits young and old. My family's been hit with it multiple times. Thank you, Eric, for helping us raise awareness to this, and raising a lot of money. In addition to making a video, guys, which is a great way to promote Eric and this cause, there's a link that Eric has set up to actually give money directly, and a lot of people from the vinyl community have already done so. And stay healthy. Thanks for watching, guys.